Welcome to our show, Film Talk with AJ Dean. I'm AJ Dean, your host, and I have a phenomenal special VIP tonight, James Moore. He's a director, producer, screenwriter, and best-selling author. Let's give him a warm welcome, audience. Hey, James, how are you?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for having me, AJ. It is always a pleasure to hang out with you.
Oh my gosh, just hearing your voice is healing. And I know that's so many people are gonna enjoy listening to this show. James, we met on Clubhouse, and I do want to give a special shout out to Evette Vargas of New Hollywood, because that's how we met, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. And you and I and so many other wonderful friends that we've come to know and love and appreciate, all a part of that community that I cherish deeply.
Wonderful. It means so much to me. What does it mean to you? Has it changed your life, Clubhouse? Has it in any way?
Yeah, and it's weird. It's because it was one of those things that I really like did not even have on my radar initially. So it kind of came out of the blue, and at the time when we all started leaning into it during the pandemic, it was really it was really a great space to be in. It was one of the few places you could go to not necessarily escape, but be able to like commiserate with like-minded individuals, people who were kind of going through their own thing, but we were there supporting each other, and that just kept growing. And to me, it became a bit of a benchmark in that it was something that I look forward to doing, because not so much to receive, but to just to give and to pour out into people. It became something for me, and it really helped define what I want to be the next chapter in my life.
I love this answer, and I feel the same way. I met you, and I might have never met you, and you're such
Mhm.
a treasure and a blessing. Every time you're in New Hollywood, we love your inspiration and just hearing your voice. You inspire us so much. Before I get to talk about one more media company and Hammerjacks Films, I did want to touch personally on, where did you get your incredible heart, your beautiful heart? Was it your mom, your dad, both of them?
I would have to say it's a little of both of them for sure. But they say it takes a village, and I was fortunate to grow up in a very blue collar neighborhood where like all the parents in the neighborhood watched out for all of the kids. I can't even count on both my fingers and toes how many times I had dinner or spent the night at a friend's house or a neighbor's house down the street. And so all of that sort of shaped not only my outlook on people, but kind of like my worldview. And my parents were the kind of people that were very encouraging when it came to education. And so I can tell you, we had weekends where my brothers and I were literally studying from encyclopedias when everyone else was outside playing and having fun. But all of that later in life turned to be a benefit when all of these things that I knew from my childhood were just like second nature, and that people are like, "How do you know these things?" It's like, because of my parents. And so it's always been that way with me, and I've always found there is more pleasure in bringing light than in simply being a part of whatever darkness is going on in the
Yeah.
world at a given time. And having gone through my own personal challenges and struggles throughout the years, the one thing that's always been a constant is that at some point I will get on the other side. And to be able to let other people know that no matter what, there is another side. And as soon as you realize that you can get through whatever it is you're going through, you'll start to look back and realize that you've been through this thousands of times, and every time you've always come out on the other side. So make that a habit, make that your lifestyle, make that your mission and your point of where you choose to pursue life, and pursue it abundantly, because you can't simply just want to have a better life. You have to fight for it.
Yes, all we have is now, right, James?
Absolutely, absolutely. There is no waiting for tomorrow. There is no one day. It's day one, and today might as well be day one.
I love this, and I just want to thank your parents because you are such a gem and such a gift to us, and we simply adore you, James. And I know if Yvette was here, she'd say the same thing. I did want to touch on one more media company and Hammer Jacks Films. Can you tell us a little bit about that? It's a production company, is that right?
Actually, there are two. So, Hammerjacks Films, my wife and I started a few years ago when we were looking at things that we wanted to do. I wanted to take a much bolder step into film and television, and I partnered with a good friend of mine, Nicole Jones Dion, to produce a short that she'd written and directed that was based on a Stephen King short. And that was the beginning of Hammerjacks Films. And it came in an auspicious time because again the pandemic sort of like put threw a monkey wrench into the plans that we had. But we moved forward anyway. We were able to put a number of other little smaller projects together. One more though is a much different animal. Having become a grandfather within the last 7 years got me to thinking about legacy. What kind of legacy do I want to leave to the world? And one of my favorite motivational speakers always reminds us that, you know, there is power in your name. Film Talk with AJ Dean is powerful because of AJ Dean. And the thing that I've always had this, and I believe I get this from my father, because one more is actually an homage to him. His initials are OM. And so whatever challenge and everything that you might be facing, or if there's a dream that you have that will challenge you to your very core, always think that when you feel as though you've reached the end of your limit, you always have one more. There is always one more opportunity, one more chance, one more day, one more repetition. And so every day that I wake up now, I'm very, very thankful that I always have one more. And I have one more to give, one more to be a part of. We are looking to create very meaningful projects. We just recently wrapped up production on a short that I'm very, very proud of, that I wrote and a couple of friends of mine directed, called Franklin Chloe, that deals with people who are facing certain death due to illness. And so there's a lot of that. We also recently wrapped up on a series called The Emergent Lens. We've got 12 episodes in the can. It's a talk show highlighting filmmakers of diverse backgrounds. Season one's about Black filmmakers, and so much more down the pipe. But one more is definitely the company that I want to take all of the experience of everything that I've ever learned and bake it into something that will ultimately be a gateway for other people as well as my own content.
Amazing, amazing. And it's going to be a legacy and it's beautiful. Congratulations, James, on you and
Thank
your
you.
wife for Hammerjacks Films. And also one more, well, you know me, you know how important, we've talked about how important our fathers are
Yes.
to us.
Yes.
And my father's no longer here on the planet, but he lives through you. I mean, he lives through me, and your father lives through you. Isn't that right?
Absolutely, 100%. And so, even when I'm long gone from here, it's my hope and prayer that the company still goes forward, that it still completes the mission, that every day you have one more opportunity to be absolutely amazing.
What a beautiful gift you're giving your family. It's such a treasure. It is such a wonderful legacy. There's thought about it. You've put thought into this. What can I
Oh, yeah.
do to leave something so important, so valuable that they have it already? And I love the logo with the circle and the M in. And I just want to say, I think your father would be really super proud of you, James.
Yes, thank you very much. He is yet to see everything. He's been ill the last couple of weeks, but hopefully sometime in the next few weeks we'll do the big rollout for him.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm super excited for you. Please keep us posted, James, on all of your projects. I do want to switch the screen up though and talk about these incredible things here that you've produced and
Mhm.
created. Go Be Epic. This is your book. I bought it and I love it. It's a very, very valuable book, very inspiring. Tell us about that.
So the Go Be Epic movement, as it were, really is the centerpiece into my life philosophy. In that you must somehow figure out a way to recognize that you are not as powerless as you might think. And when I started really paying attention to the messages that people get on a day-to-day basis, it isn't to encourage you, it's to remind you that you have shortcomings, and we all do. But our shortcomings are just that, short. They are not the encompassing end all be all of who we are, and there is so much more power within us if we truly focus our minds properly. And so for me, Go Be Epic is all about being ever present in something, whether if it's in faith, ever present in Christ, if it's in ever present in courage, ever present in your confidence in yourself, being ever present in your own life, so that when you wake up first thing in the morning, there isn't this sort of like autopilot, I'm just surviving just to get to the end of the day, to get through the next day. No, you're actually thriving and recognizing that you have given gifts that allow you to not only be powerful in your own right, but to also inspire other people to be even more powerful. You mentioned Evette Vargas's new Hollywood room, where we met, and there's so much power there. And the thing that I so love about that group is that we do everything that the book says. We support each other, we encourage each other, we challenge each other. That if there is something that you feel is in front of you or in your life that is holding you back, what is that really about? And is that really something that is truly holding you back, or something that you've been told to believe that it does? And the one thing that we know, that you've heard me say so many times when it comes to your doubts and fears, is that once you stop giving them
James?
audio, you look at your doubts and fears, and you simply ask them this one question: do you know who the hell I am? And here's the interesting part: there's crickets that you'll hear immediately following that question, because their very silence confirms the one thing that they've always known, even if you haven't, that you are that powerful, you are that special, you do have the gifts and the talents and the blessings to do any and everything that you want to do in this life. You just got to believe first. And so the Go Be Epic workbook helps you create that pathway on your own. So, it's not like me going, do this, do this, do this, because everyone has what motivates you, what you're afraid of, what you're afraid of losing, what you're hoping to gain, and you're putting the power behind the stuff that actually works for you. No, it's not going to be easy. None of us are promised an easy life. But here's the thing: at the end of the work, there is a promise. And that promise is what brings you to do even more than you ever thought you could. Gives you the opportunity to be more than average, more than great. It allows you to go be epic.
It really does. And I'm part of that group, and I'm so proud to be part of that group. It's really about finding your passion. And James, where can people get Go Be Epic, your book?
So you can get it on Amazon. Wait, we just recently changed this. It's available practically everywhere now. It's on Amazon. You can get it at Walmart of all places. You can get it. You can get it through Barnes and Noble. So wherever books are sold, yes, it's
Wonderful.
all over the place.
So I encourage everybody to go and get yourself a copy of Go Be Epic. It will inspire you, it will give you ideas, it will uplift you, and it will have you focus on your passion even more, and it'll take you to the next level. And that's what it's about, James, for me. And I enjoyed it so, so much. So thank you so much for creating and writing that. Now, is that your first book? Was that your first book?
Actually, no, this is actually my third book.
Okay.
There are two other books. There's the Be Epic Journal, which is the predecessor to Go Be Epic. And I also have a mystery thriller, Two for the Pain, the first in the Eddie Gideon series. Working on book number two as we speak. So hopefully that'll be out later this year, along with In Darkest Cleveland, which is a neo-noir fantasy thriller that I've been working on, that was originally going to be a TV series, but we decided to make it a book.
Fabulous. Now, can viewers and our audience buy your other two books on Amazon as well?
Yes, they are both on Amazon.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. I love this. I just am so I'm enjoying talking to you so very much, James. You're such a wonderful and important person to me and to New Hollywood. And I want to switch over a little bit now and talk about In the Death Room. Can you tell us about that and how people can see it?
Sure. So actually, unless it's going to be in any festivals anytime soon, probably most folks are won't be able to see it. What it is like Stephen King himself has taken a treasure trove of his own stories, and he's called them dollar babies. So what you can do is you can basically lease one of his stories for $1. And you can then turn that story into whatever film production that you want or audiobook or whatnot. The thing is, you can't sell it, but you can use it in terms of demonstrating your work. You can enter festivals and win prizes and things like that, just as long as you're not taking it out to monetize it. So that was one of the things that Nicole and I we just when decided we wanted to do. She brought me in on the project, and it was absolutely amazing. We may be bringing it back, hopefully, to one of the LA festivals here sometime later this year. We did take a hiatus again just because of COVID and everything, but it's won a number of awards. The actors and crew and everyone involved in that is absolutely amazing. And I learned so much as a producer because this was my first really serious project as a producer from Nicole, not only as a producer, but in terms of directing and just being able to keep a set going throughout the day was just absolutely amazing. We did extraordinarily well. We were looking to raise 20,000 for that project. I think we raised 35. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and look forward to doing something even more amazing later this year.
Wow, this is phenomenal. Now, James, congratulations on the winning those awards and the whole production of In the Death Room. Now, the topic, is it about what is it about? Is it the last chance for what? What is it in the death room?
So basically, this investigative journalist is trying to find out what happened to his sister, who was a nun who disappeared in South America, and it leads him to like the darkest moment of his life, and
Wow.
he's got to figure out a way out.
Oh, okay. So he obviously uncovered some secrets. Is that right? Some kind of,
Yes,
oh dear. And it put him in a predicament, let's say, right?
a very extraordinary and extreme predicament.
Wow. You know, it sounds so suspenseful and exciting. And this is definitely a popcorn movie. So when you release it, please let me know because I'd love to watch it. Anything that you have done, James, I would so love to watch. And I know our viewers would too as well. So we've got a couple more films up on screen now. I just changed it. These are fabulous posters. First of all, congratulations because they're beautiful.
Thank you.
Um, all your work is great, but these are spectacular as well. Black Bones Jones and Death Date. Now, these are these horror?
Yes, I guess you could call them both horror fantasy projects. Death Date is the first project that I co-wrote with Nicole Jones Dion. Again, just the synergy and everything. I was having an amazing time working with Nicole, and hopefully sometime in the very near future we get to work together again. It's amazing short. You can actually watch this on Amazon. It is available on Amazon for you to watch. Really spooky kind of story. I won't give away the ending, but I will say that we're still, even after the years that we've made this thing, still looking that it might eventually attract an audience to build a home for it. So yeah, that one's great. Black Bones Jones is the most recent project about an ex-slave, ex-soldier who becomes an exorcist. Met my producing partner through Clubhouse, and he and I have he fell in love with the script, and we've been working at trying to put the elements together to bring this to life. Of course, with the strike and everything going on, everything's kind of come to a standstill. But also, I'm looking to turn this film project into IP, and there will be a book on it later this year as well.
So I love the sound of this. Now I can already tell, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Help me out here, James. Ex-soldier, ex-slave, exorcist. So does he right the wrongs?
He does right wrongs, but in a way that you probably would not expect.
Okay, okay. Now this is fascinating to me. See, it's very intriguing because I'd love to go on the journey with him. And he's been through so much. He's been a soldier, he's been a slave, he's an exorcist individual, and he's out into the world again. He's come back. This is fascinating to me. So it's fantasy and is it a little bit of sci-fi or is it fantasy horror? Would you categorize it?
It's fantasy horror because it's set in the old west. The way that I describe it, it's The Exorcist meets A Fistful of Dollars.
I love it. I
So,
absolutely love it. So James, when can we, you said something about the IP, right? You're in development for that?
yeah. So one of the things that, and again, and this came out of being inspired with One More. One of the things in part of my legacy plan project that I'm trying to leave is that every project that I make over the next 3 years is going to be based on IP, which means I'm going to write a book for it. I've already signed a 4 book deal with my publisher. So yeah, really it's just on me to create the content and bring it all together. And one of the things that I love about the stories, like with Black Bones Jones, and with a number of other projects that I'm working on, is they lend themselves to even greater stories. So that if someone beyond me wants to take up the mantle and says, "I would love to direct this thing," I'm happy with it once the book's out. So yeah, we're
See,
doing big world building.
I would jump on this right away because I already love the poster. I haven't seen the deck. I haven't seen the synopsis or the treatment. I haven't seen the sizzle reel, but I have to tell you, James, just the poster alone, the way you have the lead character in
Mhm.
a silhouette, and he's got, I need to put my glasses on real quick, but he's got something in his hand, right? It's like fire.
It
Is it?
is fire. It is
It's
fire.
fire. Okay, so I mean, again, so well thought out. You put time and energy into this. I love the colors, the tone, the blue. Um, it reminds me of the classic studio Hollywood movies, the ones that were done really, really well.
Yeah.
And that's what we want again, don't we? We want that again with these great stories that need to be told. And James, I want to go now talking about stories for everyone. What kind of stories need to be told now in the world? Tell us about
And that's a big one. It is because, you know, people are inspired by different things. And um I know for me, because I grew up as a kid who grew up on comic books. All of the Marvel and DC movies that are, it's like a dream come true. Like when I went to see Endgame, I was literally reverted back to a 12-year-old kid. And it was so much fun. But in the same breath, I think that um, movies, especially right now, that shed light on things and areas where we have not had as much information about, or have not been told the truth about it on so many different ways.
it.
I think really need to be told right now, not simply because these storytellers need to tell these stories, but because, contrary to popular belief, people want to know. People simply
Yes.
want to know, and it's arming them with the truth, not my truth, not your truth, but the actual truth that actually helps them enrich and make sure that their lives are not only better, but helps them protect the lives of their children in the future. And we're seeing so many examples of that because there's so many courageous stories about men and women across the board who've done far more for us and for the lifestyles that we so enjoy, whose names need to be heard, need to be told. There are thousands of stories out there, stories from the women's suffrage through the civil rights movement, to a lot of the people who were put in internment camps, Japanese Americans who were in internment camps, everything from the Zoot Suit riots to, to the factory horrors that happened in Cleveland, Ohio, during the early Reconstruction age, when people, or the metal age, I should say, when, they were building steam factories and railroads and ships. So it's a lot of stuff out there, and people are hungry for it.
Yes, and we need to, just like you said a moment ago, it's 100% true. Thank you for saying that, James. We need to know the truth. We want to know the truth now. It's time. And
Absolutely.
right, and I would say that this is your time as well, James, because so many great things are happening for you, and we are so happy, so thrilled for you. We really, really are. Um, anyone you would like to give a shout out to or acknowledgement or any kind of message on your heart, James?
Oh God, there's so many people. Well, let me do it in groups rather than trying to do individual names, because I'm sure I'd miss someone. First and foremost, I want to send a shout out to all of our New Hollywood family, because you and I would not be together had it not been for New Hollywood, and the love and admiration that I have not only for you but everyone in the group, who's working and building and striving every single day, to do the things that most people are still only dreaming about. And I revere and respect each and every one of you guys. My next group I would like to shout out would be my work family at Roadmap Writers. We've been able to help more than 300 writers get representation, and I'm so ridiculously thrilled to be a part of that, with Joey and Dorian and Alex and Tara Joy and Deep and Tristan and Loren and Tiffany and Robert A. and everyone else who helps us out. It's just so absolutely incredible, the stuff that we do, and I love those guys to death. And then probably the next at large would be all of my fellow screenwriters out there. I mean, who bust their ass to hustle and to just to make a difference, to tell the stories, to put the words into the trusted hands of directors and actors who can really do justice to the message that they want to bring. I salute the hard work that in the long nights and the early mornings that goes into all of that. And then probably finally, my family, my kids have been the focal point for practically every joy, triumph, and tragedy that I've ever done, and refuse to ever apologize for. I made the choices and the decisions that I made to take care of my kids, and they're all great young men. They're all married now. They all have children. They all have degrees. And so, yeah, you're looking for good black men. They're out there. I'm sorry, but they're already married. Uh, and my wife, who is like, uh, she's my ride or die. She puts up with all of my crap, and sometimes she doesn't, and she lets me know about it. But as ever steady and stalwart as you could possibly imagine. And I love that whenever there's something great that happens, she's the first person I want to share it with. Um, and then I guess, you kind of touched on it earlier. Both of my parents, who not only encouraged me to read, but to actually learn how to speak well, which has helped me in so many different ways. That I all of those times I remember now, just reading from an encyclopedia to my father, and him making sure that we got the pronunciations of all the words correctly, suddenly are paying off in ways that I never could have even imagined back then. So yeah, I think that's everyone. And then anyone who's really looking for a way to find your foot in terms of the ground that you need to stand on to launch whatever it is that you're dreaming of, don't assume that the ground beneath you is going to slip or going to fall. I have literally seen with my eyes, heard with my own ears, the stories of people who literally rose from the ashes to become so much greater than they have ever been. AJ Dean being one of them, and so many other stories, that a test was turned into a testimony and gave you the courage, it gave you the inspiration to simply try and do more every single day. And that, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, is my superpower. When I see my friends doing well, when I see them continuing to try in the face of adversity, it makes whatever I'm facing less than an inch high, and I'm wearing gigantic boots.
I love this. And James, you speak so eloquently, and I have enjoyed this so very much. I'm looking at the clock, and we have to start wrapping it up soon. I'm so sorry. It's gone
No
so
worries, no
fast.
worries.
But I have to tell you, I've enjoyed it so much, and this is one of my all-time favorites. The new Hollywood. Again, I want to say thank you to the amazing Evette Vargas. And James, you are incredible. You're an incredible author, director, producer, writer, screenwriter, and you've got so many great blessings coming to you. And also for me, I just want to let you know, you and I have our faith is so important, and it's a beautiful thing. It's such a gift to know people like you, with wonderful hearts that you have, you and your wife and your family. So I just want to share blessings over you and love and protection. And I want to say thank you and we love you. Any last words you wanted to share? Anything you'd like to, a heart message, James?
Yeah, of course, as always. One of the things that I know that each and every one of us struggles with every single day is this idea that I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy enough, or I'm an imposter. And the thing that you have to fully, once and for all, fully come to the realization is that the reason why those thoughts are being pushed into your mind, pushed into your brain, at the moment you gain consciousness first thing in the morning, is because you have an enemy that wants to destroy you. Absolutely, without a doubt. And so here's the question: why would someone want to destroy me? Is it because I've done something wrong? Absolutely not. You just woke up, so there's nothing there. But what it is that what you could do, and what you could do might inspire someone. What you could do might be the lighthouse in someone's life. What you could do becomes the reason that some woman leaves an abusive relationship. A child who thought that they weren't good enough tries and tries again. A husband who's simply trying to do the best that he can, finds the courage to get up and rise every single morning despite the aches and pains. And in the business that both AJ and I are in the entertainment industry, it is forever beating down that ever nagging sense that maybe I do not make a difference. I'm here to tell you that that is a lie. That is a lie created by your enemy. But here is the truth. The truth is that you are gifted the moment you took your first breath. And it's when you come to the realization and the recognition and the embracing of your given gifts, then everything around you that has been sent to defeat you will fall and crumble at your feet. It isn't hyperbole, it's destined. It is destined if you believe. So before you believe a commercial about a product, before you believe a rumor that you've heard on television, before even you believe someone who may have said something to you in your life that is wholly untrue, believe this: you were given a purpose, a reason, and a gift to be here. You and you were alone were completely beautifully and powerfully made to do something so incredible that all of hell trembles at the very sight of your face in the morning. So, again, when you wake every single day, no matter how you may be feeling, and yes, your feelings can get you down here and there, but here's the one thing you must understand: the one thing you must feel about yourself is that you are powerful and that you've been gifted. And so when they come, and they will come for you as they come for us all, you don't simply cower under the covers. You rise on your feet. You stand up, even if you're in the room by yourself, and you say aloud, "Do you know who the hell I am?"
I love it. Mic drop. Mic drop. There you heard it right from James Moore. Oh my gosh, you're just incredible. And I want to thank you, James, for your inspiration. And thank you for being you. Thank you for your time tonight. We absolutely love you and adore you. And James, how can people follow you and support you?
So quickly before that, ladies and gentlemen, please support AJ. She is a powerfully amazing human being. She's a gift to mankind, and I'm so thankful and blessed to know her. I'm pretty easy to reach, guys. You can reach me either at james@roadmapwriters.com. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on IG as one more. You can reach me at James at Hammerjacks Films as well. If you need help, if you need an encouraging ear, or if you just need somebody to listen to and just like, if you just want to rant for like, I need a half an hour, I need someone to rant to, go ahead. I got my pancakes. I'm good to go.
Love it. I love it. Okay, James, thank you so, so much. And James, I just want to send you hearts, big hearts
Thank
to
you so
you and
much.
your family, and lots of love. And James, until we meet again, au revoir.
Or as they say in France, à tout à l'heure.
À tout à l'heure.